the more I meditate, the more I see that I am absolutely powerless in having an effect on my mood or my emotions. I realize that I can meditate all day, I can take supplements, I can do yoga, go outside, all the things that we know are good for our health, physical or mental health. And yet, who decides when I'm having a good day or a bad day? And who decides whether I'm having a fun meditation or not? Of course, circumstances may influence your state of being, but if circumstances could be mostly similar and yet your mood is different, where does it come from? What's going on? Like yesterday, I felt at peace and neutral, and I didn't feel ecstatic and super happy, but felt fine, felt good. And today, it feels like I'm easily triggered and I'm impatient, I'm grumpy, but nothing changed in my reality. Nothing changed in my perspective. Why? What's the difference? Why is it that today my meditation was not as peaceful as yesterday's? So that really reinforces what I read or heard recently, that actually there is no free will. And I understand that if there is no free will and you're sort of powerless to what happens and how you feel, what's the point in trying to achieve all those things like money and fame or love or whatever, even healing trauma. I want to heal my trauma because I believe I will feel better. But will I? And who decides who heals their trauma and who doesn't? And what works sometimes and what doesn't? Who decides? And that's not necessarily a freeing thought. On the contrary, it's quite depressing, I would say. Although I don't feel depressed about it, but I feel like, what's the point in doing anything? Yeah, what's the point? So I'm having a hard time doing things because of that. Yeah, I guess thinking about it and explaining it out loud is not feeling good. It is a bit depressing, actually. But I've read enough and watched enough non-duality videos to believe and hope. Obviously, that's my ego, my person hoping, but it feels reassuring to know that this is a usual phase in awakening, and that at some point when the person's will dissolves and awakening happens, eventually, like God's will or whatever, oneness or whatever it is, there's another will that takes over. Or maybe not, but then there's only doing things for the enjoyment and the pleasure and the fun and the joy of doing them in the moment. And I don't have that lately. This is spring break. I'm with my daughter full time. We don't have a schedule. We can do anything we want. And yet I don't feel like doing much. I just want to go outside. And yet it's super cold these days. So I don't want to go outside too long. It feels like any book or anything I watch, it's meaningless. I can see clearly that it won't bring me anything more. It won't make me happier. It won't solve any problems because there are no problems. Qu'est-ce que tu fais sur le comptoir? Maybe she thought I was speaking to her. Maybe. Je te parlais pas. Tu viens pas sur le comptoir. Non? So, I'm hoping this changes. Or not actually. Or not actually. I have some fears, like if I don't feel like doing anything ever again, how am I going to work? Because I still have resistance to things though. There's nothing I really want to do, but there are things I definitely don't want to do. So, but actually, no, I still do them. Like I'm making dinner right now because I have to. I want my girl to be fed and I want to feed myself as well. So I guess, yeah, that was a fear I had too. What if I awaken and there's no more me and all of that? Who's gonna take care of my daughter? Am I going to be a bad mother suddenly? And I was watching Jim Newman today and he was saying, was it him? Yes, it was him. He said, yes, but he argued with the lady who asked the same thing. She was worried about children. If you awaken, who's going to take care of children? And he answered, well, the thing is, there was actually never anyone taking care of them in the first place. So it doesn't change anything. Children will be taken care of. So I guess I've got nothing to worry about anymore because things take care of themselves, whether I resist or worry or not. So I shouldn't worry. That's it for today.